Everybody, hello, and welcome back to a new year of the Big Three. First off, Happy New Year, people.
Happy New Year.
Happy late New Year, you
And
guys.
what is it late? It's never too late for a first or for a Happy New Year. It's the first time we've been together in this capacity.
On the 28th day, though, but I'm glad we're here.
It's better late than never. We needed and deserved a break, and it's been a nice break. It's hard to get back going, bitch. It is hard to get back going. You over there playing with pussy, white pussy at that. And I'm over here
He gray.
high as hell.
You're talking about Ash. Ash? Okay, so he's over here talking
Yeah,
about my
Ash
cat.
is white. Ash is
You
a
are
white
not
cat.
going to disrespect my cat and just
How
call
is that
refer to him as
disrespectful? The
food.
cat is white. Your cat, you playing with a white cat.
He is not white. He is gray, which is why
That's
his
what
name is Ash. Okay, this is a black cat. Okay, he is just
Every
light
time I've
skinned.
seen
Okay, y'all
Ash, he
saying
look white as fuck to me.
he's light skinned. Okay, he's
Okay.
he's melanin deficient.
The
Okay,
whole
we're not
goddamn
going to talk
house
about
is
that.
light skinned. The whole damn house. All you motherfuckers is light skinned in that bitch. So I will let Ash be light skinned. That is damn K. What is not okay is the amount of domestic terrorism that has been unleashed on this country as we are now in year 2 of the second Trump administration. ICE has ramped up its efforts, and we are seeing American casualties come weekly. American casualties are coming fucking weekly. This has been a extremely difficult month for a lot of people. Me, I'm sure you guys also included. And, this is a great place to kind of just open the damn door on what we are living with and what is becoming an American reality.
I mean,
What have been your initial thoughts, guys?
Kamala told you so. That's not
yeah,
my national. My only and every thought is Kamala told you so. Everything that was predicted is happening, and unfortunately, people did not listen. They did not heed the warnings, and the man warned us what he was going to do. So, unfortunately, we are all going to have to suffer through this, and we're going to have to get through it together, hard as that may be.
I mean, I'm just gonna, repeat the same sentiment. I mean, I know it sounds like a broken record, but I mean, the record is broken. So is our, levers of government. I mean, goddamn, he done ripped up the Constitution. Don't give a damn about our freedom to protest, our freedom. But it just seems like it's sad that I'm starting to see some people, and not really a lot of people, take accountability for their actions on how they chose to vote in 2024 and not listening to the impeding warnings of Project 2025. But it shouldn't take people losing their lives or their limbs for you to get what's actually at stake. And Donald Trump literally doing what he promised, which was be a dictator day one and use federal law enforcement to go after peaceful citizens. I mean, it shouldn't have taken all of this. But the thing that's scaring me most about all of it is the fact that you have Pam Bondi pretty much saying, if you want us to, bring, rest or civil rest or whatever to your or deal with the issue that's happening in Minneapolis, you have to turn over your voter register data. What the fuck are they trying to do with that? It
Rig
sounds to me like they're trying to rig this shit.
Steal elections. They're preparing to steal elections.
Again, something that people warned about. We may not have another free and fair. We may have an election, but it may not be free and it may not be fair. So this is all things that were projected in the Project 2025 that we warned about. We said, people took time and read that 900 goddamn page document and told people exactly what could happen. And I think I don't know if y'all agree, but I feel like it's way worse than what we thought it was possibly be, at least at this point, a year later. It's worse than what I would even consider, because the Constitution has literally been shredded to the point where these folks are saying that people cannot even bring guns to a protest, a phone to a protest. That wasn't even something that I even had on my radar, that they were going to go that far, where they were going to basically say 2A doesn't even matter anymore. And I think that has a lot of people like, oh shit, because guess what? Democrats also own guns. So do independents. and so do Republicans.
Tiff, you know, like I'm gonna be honest. I'm not yet there. I had the most viewed short form video on Project 2025 of any video created. Okay, it was at 4.9 million views up until the actual week of the election. And what made it wasn't that it was just this great video, although I think it was. I'm proud of the video. I think it was a good video. It was the fact that I dropped the video about 2 weeks before Taraji P. Henson told people to Google Project 2025, and nobody else had really done a good video around it. That was a trusted voice in the space, and that's what really probably catapulted the video to being like the most watched Project 2025 video before other people had made Project 2025 videos. I read all the pages. I did a series. I did a whole fucking series where I did a big overview, and then I did what Project 2025 means for the blacks, what it means for the browns, what it means for the gays, what it means for workers' rights, what it means for veteran rights, what it means for science. I did a whole series. So I have yet to see anything, to be honest and fair with you, that I'm surprised about. You can't live in this country in this moment and think that you have rights any longer, because you do not. You do not have the right to, I mean, you do have the right. Let me rephrase that. You do have the right because God gave you the right. The Constitution gives you the right, but you cannot be under the pretext as though that right will be protected by the government, because the government is here to take away that right from you, the people. We are living in a time when the free speech of protesters that are fighting for democracy is going to be superseded by the free speech of white supremacists and white nationalists and Christian nationalists and fascists who are attacking democracy. That is the reality of America in 2026, and all of it is spelled out, unfortunately, in Project 2025. There's nothing I'm saying that doesn't say that. They talked about reverse racism in Project 2025. They talked about dismantling and attacking the systems that uphold this country in Project 2025. And they talk about a pathway to not having democracy continue as we know it, at least not for our black and brown asses.
But you know what I want people to understand, and hopefully with the level of education, I'm talking about what we're learning. I'm hoping that the Caucasians understand that white doesn't guarantee your safety, as we've basically seen. And I know a lot of people think that they could find, safety in supremacy, but that's just not the case when you're dealing with fascism. It's not going to work.
I think there are a lot of white people who are far away from that. I do. And I really do. I do believe that, no, I don't think that the majority of people are there. I don't think MAGA supporters are anywhere near that. I don't think that we have.
I'm talking about the leftists that said, hey, stay at home. We're going to be fine. This is what we want. We want the system to burn down. I'm talking about them. Because most of the people who were targeted were on our side, unfortunately. They were left-leaning. And for some odd reason, we had people in 2020, like 2024, like the Madeline Pendletons and the I Am Blake Lively's and all them other people, I Am Blakely's. They were basically telling people to stay at home. That, the both parties are the same, that we're fear-mongering, that 2025 is a hoax. Trump's really not going to be, a dictator day one. I mean, they were telling us over and over again that we were gaslighting, that we were fear-mongering, that we were just trying to get people to vote for Killer Kamala. I wonder what they think now.
Have you? I mean, that's a question to open the floor for you and, of course, the audience. Are you hearing that the far leftists are saying that we made a mistake, that we were wrong, they made a mistake? I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing dumbass like Anna Kaspirin, right? I'm hearing people that deny the damage they did.
I agree, and that's why I made my post the other day, because I'm like, y'all told us y'all wanted to have a revolution, and the revolution is here, and y'all are nowhere to be found. I don't see y'all asses doing not a motherfucking thing but bitching and complaining about Democrats. So at some point, I'm tuning y'all out, which I've done for a very long time. But at the end of the day, those people do not have any sympathy for anything that they did. They do not care, because they felt that they were right about what they were committed to, which was being uncommitted. I mean, that's what they were. And unfortunately, the role that they play, they will never, it's not just in 2024, it's the role they played starting from 2016 that they have never been accountable. They're still thinking that the 2016 was rigged. I mean, they'll never admit what really has happened in this country. And unfortunately, we are all going to deal with the consequences, not for the foreseeable future, but for years and years and years to come, because we are still living with the consequences of 2016, and it is 10 years later. So no, they don't have any kind of sympathy, empathy, or anything. They just want Democrats to fix the problem. Meanwhile, they created the problem their fucking selves.
And they're still creating problems. They're still out here. They're not trying to unify. They're not trying to come together. They're a well-organized chaos machine. And they're continuously working to fracture and fragment the Democratic Party, to pull away Black voters and Jewish voters from the coalition that creates the Democratic Party. And it's a constant press. And so I don't know. I don't think they get it. I think there's a long way for them to have to fall. And I still think to a certain extent, they think that they're burning it all down is going to result in a brand new system of government and leadership that's going to benefit them. And what's crazy about it is it won't. People need to look at, but you don't have to even look far into history. You can look at modern day examples. We can go back to when to Saddam Hussein's Iraq. The whole world let that nation fall from a democracy into a dictatorship. The world allowed it. So, and again, Iraq was nowhere near the superpower that the United States of America is. Nowhere near it. No one gave a fuck about Iraq until George Bush wanted oil. And there was an impact on oil and the threat of losing oil and capitalistic pursuits of America in the Middle East. There ain't shit in America that any motherfucking body wants. We don't produce a goddamn thing. We don't have rare earth minerals. We don't have motherfucking oil reserves that people want. We don't have shit. We don't have shit in this country that anybody fucking wants. We are the ones in need of them. And somehow we've convinced them that they need us. And the reality is that they don't. So when Donald Trump turns the military and the ICE Gestapo against the American citizens, whether they be leftists, it'll be all of us. No one's coming to fucking save you. France isn't going to come. Britain, no fucking country in the world is going to come. They're going to turn the other way, and they're not going to give a fuck because they're going to care about their own people. That's the world we live in. And if you think for 1 minute left to say you're going to raise up arms and pick up your little fucking pistols, and shoot your way out of this, you're stupid as fuck. The United States military is going to gun you down in a motherfucking heartbeat without any consequences or any kind of hesitation. There is no hope in the fight that these leftists want to wage in their efforts to burn it all down. There's no fucking hope.
We already know they're not really about that damn life because they've had every opportunity to go to Minneapolis and really raise hell, but they haven't done shit. I mean, one of the loudest people on the internet, Afeni, I remember when she was out here getting arrested in D.C., I don't remember her raising hell and causing violence. And it's funny that she's calling for Democrats to call for violence. But these people aren't going to pick up arms. They ain't even going to pick up a damn slingshot. They really not about that damn life. They're not going to shoot their shot. But it's weird to me that when we're talking about what's happening, especially when it comes to whatever you want to call them, the radical left, the anarchists, and all this other shit, they talk about picking up books and starting a revolution. But if you look at history, when you look at revolutions, who were the first people to die? The most vulnerable, but they claim to be humanitarians. These people are sociopaths. And we need to call them exactly that.
Every time. Every time.
Listen, I've watched MSNBC more or MS Now more than the last week than I have probably all of last year, right? Just trying to figure out like what is really happening on the ground. I will say they have done some pretty good reporting, the people on the ground. I have actually seen, Anderson Cooper actually go on the ground. He hasn't been on the damn field in like years. I mean, so all of this is it's just building and it's going to combust at some point. I think it's already almost there. But then the question is what happens next, right? I mean, 2 people have already died in Minneapolis. What a little boy is in detention with his father. They use him as bait. I mean, there is so many things that have gone like just insane over the last couple of weeks that we've been off. And it just feels like what's next, because this is not even we're not even at the point where we are at the bottom. We haven't even scratched the surface, it feels. And there's going to be stuff that's going to happen in the next couple of months. So I think we just all need to be prepared, because it's going to get worse. I mean, we're getting rid of Bovino does nothing. That shit does nothing. He's ridiculous. But Kristi Noem, getting rid of her won't do anything. Stephen Miller is the problem. He is the architect behind this. He is the person that is the immigration policy director in the White House. As Kristi Noem said, and even Bovino, CNN did a good video showing how they use the same statement. The both use the same statement that came from Stephen Miller. So Miller is the problem. Trump, of course, is the head of this, but Miller is a part of it. But even if Miller goes, it's not going to change the policy. Trump is also a part of the problem, but I think it goes back to that we got to put the blame on the Republican Party every single day. Absolutely. I mean, they let
Miller has no power. Neither, like, Stephen Miller has been elected to nothing.
But Stephen Miller is directing these cabinet secretaries to put these people in certain places. He is more powerful than most people think, and he cannot be impeached. You cannot impeach him.
How is he power? He has power because of what has been given to him by Donald Trump, an elected leader.
But Donald Trump's policy, Donald Trump is not sitting there making policy. Donald Trump is not the one sitting there saying, oh, let's do this. He's going to Donald Trump and he's saying, hey, let's do this. This sounds really good. And Stephen Miller and Donald Trump's like, yeah, I'm not saying that things will change if he's gone, but I'm saying that he is the demon, the head demon in that.
Yes, you are all. Let me tell you, you are 100% correct all the way about what you're saying about Stephen Miller. But one thing that I'm very keenly aware of when it comes to the messaging that's out there and how we communicate it. See, Republicans are savvy. They're very smart. They put Elon Musk out there at first to do a really heinous part of the plan and take the fall for it. And everyone hated Elon Musk. Elon Musk leaves the White House, rehabilitates his image, and he's not hated as much. He's now the world's first trillionaire. Stephen Miller is now the person that they put there to be the blame for everything they're doing. I'm not saying that he's not the blame. Right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not the brains behind the operation. I'm just saying this man has no power. He's a private citizen appointed. The power in the democracy comes from who we elect. Even Donald Trump is nothing but a figurehead who gets the blame for the wrong that the Republican Party allows. Every single Republican in Congress is up for re-election in November of this year. Yet, where are they? Most of the Republicans, of the 438 members of the United States House of Representatives, of those that are Republican, many of them are unknown by even their own damn constituents. They aren't saying shit. Nobody's harassing them. Nobody's hunting them down. Nobody's asking them the hard questions. They're not even doing town halls. They're getting off from this scot-free with very little press and very little blame. I believe it is our work as content creators and people who are as educators or whatever you see yourself as, because in 2026, I see myself as an educator who creates content, not as a content creator who educates, because I'm an educator by trade, first and foremost. But it is my job, I feel, to highlight and point the finger and the blame at the Republicans, because they're the ones who have the power, and we have to take that power away from them as people in a democracy.
But here's my thing with the whole power thing. Republicans, there would be no Donald, and I agree with you about the Republicans and their power, but Donald Trump has stolen their power from them, because they don't even want to legislate at this point. They don't want to do anything at this point.
They have given their power.
They have given their power to MAGA, which is Trump, and to Stephen Miller, and to the people in the White House to say, we are here, but we're not even doing anything in this Congress. We are just here, and the people that elect them, they are the ones that are going to have to determine at the end of the day what they want to do. Because guess what? Donald Trump would not have gotten elected, wouldn't even have been able to run for president if it wasn't for Republicans in the Senate who allowed him to be able to not be convicted. He could have been convicted, and we could have had a whole different situation. So at the end of the day, those senators need to be held to account. But that is also comes back to white people in these red ass states that have the ability. There are plenty of Senate seats that are up for re-election. Do something about it. Change the way this Congress looks. And they have the power. The people, as you said, the people have the power to make the change. Yes, we're going to have to ride this out until November, but what are you guys going to do
until 2028? And that's something else, right? Like, I think it's important for us to help help our audiences be braced for the future, to understand not a motherfucking thing is going to change in 2027 once Democrats win the House, possibly the Senate. Let's just pretend that it's a dream scenario and Democrats get control of the House and get control of the Senate. You're not going to see a motherfucking thing change, other than the fact that the Trump administration will be slowed down, that they can be bogged down in impeachment hearings. They can have legislation that will be stalled. But even then, the Democrats in the House and the Senate will not be able to get bills passed because Trump is going to veto them. There won't be a veto-proof majority. Okay, it won't be possible, and the media will still blame Democrats, but only more so. And the fake ass, bullshit ass influencers will still be out here influencing and doing stupid shit like they do. I'm just saying, you need to understand what we're in for. It will not be over at the midterms. It will be a step in the process. But those exact same Democrats that we elected 2026 have to be reelected in 2028, and we have to retake the White House. And then our work will shift, people. Our work will then become putting immense pressure on the Democrats we elect to immediately do the hard work of doing what Trump did, going nuclear, firing every motherfucker that Trump put into the goddamn government. All these loyalists, all these people from motherfucking Arkansas in the backwoods of nowhere, bird-legged hoes like this bitch. That is going to have to be the first course of action, is clean the goddamn slate and start shit over just like Trump did. And Democrats typically haven't had the heart to do stuff like that.
Well, yeah, no, they gotta get tough. I mean, listen, they needed to go after Kristi Noem. She's a horrible woman. They need to go. I said yesterday, they need to go. Even though you probably cannot get Steve, people need to be aware. Like you said, this is about educating people, right? Most people don't even know who Stephen Miller is.
They need to be impeached. Now, Stephen Miller needs to go to jail. Yeah, he needs to go to jail.
There needs to be a build up to people knowing who the players are in this whole the scheme, the whole scheme that Todd set up. This is the scheme, okay? This is a scheme that Trump and his White House have set up so that they can take power. But the power that can be the thing that needs to be stopped. So let me just say this very clearly. The thing that needs to be stopped is that if you want to have a free and fair election in 2028, where the person who wins that election actually gets to be the person that is sworn in, then you need to make sure we get the House back. Because guess what? If Republicans have control of that, guess what? The insurrection, you thought that was a game? That was just the appetizer for what will come next. They will not swear that person. They will not certify that election. So we must take the House back in 2026. So while we may not have a ton of power and we may not be able to pass bills, there are things that we need to be able to stop in order to be, and just even like you said, even just to have hearings, just bring Stephen Miller in. These people will resist. This is 2018, 2019 all over again, but 10 times worse. It's going to be horrible.
I agree.
I mean, part of it is just making sure that we, like, to, reiterate on Zach's point, we just got to make sure that we're setting the right expectation for voters, for them to understand that what we have to do in this moment is stop the bleeding. And that also means having uncomfortable conversations with some people that are on our side, that are constantly dragging Democrats. Just like you the other day, Tiff, who was it that lady that you're dragging that Zach loves so much that he bought her book or some shit like that, her podcast?
Oh my gosh, she canceled her house. Did she cancel her account? She deleted her account after
It's the I've Had It podcast women. The I've Had It podcast
They deleted their account because they cannot take the smoke. They like to give smoke, but they can't take the smoke. So she deleted.
But they can call Trump taco tits, so why can't you take it? I mean, at the same time, you talk about Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer harder than you talk about Republicans. It becomes a problem.
That's the problem.
That's feeding into voter apathy. So again, we have to have those uncomfortable conversations, even if there's people that are quote unquote allies. Sometimes we have to really push back because we have to understand that you are literally killing our momentum. A lot of people are tired and they are feeling, a little bit of voter apathy and feeling, like just throwing in the towel and checking the fuck out, especially when it comes to our party. People are getting ready to tune out because it's becoming too much.
Yeah. No,
so
I agree.
So, you bring up, you brought up several good points. I want to take two to expand on. First and foremost, I want to talk about Jennifer Welch. That's the name of the one lady with the blonde hair, and her partner Pumps, who is the other co-host of the I've Had It podcast. You bring them up, and it's just, I really think it's interesting the turn of their content focus. And I think it's interesting, like, to talk about what possibly fueled it. I had a chance to sit with Jennifer at the DNC, where we sat in the little makeshift homemade lounge they created with chairs and curtains, and they fed us cold hot dogs with what is it, generic ketchup. And I shared a hot dog with Jennifer, and she was indeed a pleasant lady. I had already seen her podcast on YouTube, and it was after the DNC that she truly kind of blew up. And her content did indeed shift, and there is all of a sudden became, and it wasn't October 7th that shifted it. It shifted in 2025 around June, July, and it became all around hating Hakeem Jeffrey. April to June, it started with anti-Jeffrey sentiment. Then it shifted over into, both Jeffries and Schumer. And it's just been a constant nonstop barrage. And it feels as though, I don't know if it's about the fact they got new viewers. I don't know if it's the fact that they realized going down the Hassan Piker road made them more popular. I don't know if they're being funded by someone or getting money from someone who wants that content. What do you guys think?
Well, I agree with you on the timing, because I used to watch it, like, well, not all the time, but if I saw a clip, I would go and watch. Sometimes they have like they would have shorter clips of their show, not the whole thing, that I would watch, and I would post it. And then, like you said, around April, June-ish, when she became in love with Hassan Piker and obsessed with him. No, she has a very strong crush on that man.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
She definitely, there's pictures, there's all kinds of stuff where she's like, she moved to New York. I didn't even know this. And they did an interview with Mamdani, and they started feeling themselves. They started gaining a different type of audience, and they started feeling. And then it turned into this, like you said, the Hakeem thing. And now, even in that video she did, which pissed me off, is like she's going after Cory Booker. Now, I have my issues with Cory Booker, but what the hell does Cory Booker have to do with any of this that's going on right now? These are the things that really, and it kind of seems like she has a thing for these light-skinned Black men. Okay, she has a problem with them, and it's Hakeem and it's Cory Booker. Why are you bringing two Black men into this thing? You should be attacking the people that are having the problems, which are the Republicans that you, from your former state that you lived in, which was Oklahoma. Go call your goddamn senators, okay, man. Leave them alone. Chuck Schumer, whatever, he's fair game. Anybody can go at him, but when they go at Hakeem and when they go at Cory, it just feels off. Like, it just feels not right. And again, I have my issues, but it just doesn't sit well with me.
I mean, but that's just the sentiment when it comes from the left in general, because the litmus test is actually a brown paper bag test now. But when we're talking about what she's doing, first of all, I don't really trust a lot of these white hoes. Sorry, my prejudice is actually rooted in something. But the only white woman that I trust is Susan Lambert. I don't trust none of these white hoes. But to tell you the truth, when we're talking about, why they're doing it, grievance politics, again, is lucrative. That's what's going to get the views. That's what's going to get the clicks. If you're talking shit about Democrats, people are tuned in. Nobody has any smoke for Republicans ever. I mean, that's how the Young Turks started. They started literally dragging Hillary Clinton back in 2015, 2016, Obama, and the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party. You would think that the
And
left would
Hassan
focus.
Piker is Sink Uger's nephew. Hassan Piker is Sink Uger's nephew, motherfuckers. Like, I hate that people. How do you not know that?
Right. And I don't think most people are putting the pieces together to see
It's
kind
all
of
coordinated.
the trajectory. But I agree with you, Kenny. Grievance politics sells. You want if I go make a video that says fuck you, this one, that one, to the Democrats, I will get a whole bunch of views. If
You're gonna be rewarded with the algorithm. That's how it works.
Yeah, but if I go there and try to like you said, educate people on policy and how the Senate works, and people don't want to hear that because they crave the going after the Democrats. That feels good for them because they want somebody to be mad at. Why the fuck aren't y'all mad at the Republicans? God damn it!
That's right.
Because it's easier to attack the blacks.
You know, like I think Kenny said, like his racism has a root cause. Racism across the board always has a root cause, and I really need everyone to examine their triggers. I agree with you, Tiffany. Jennifer Welch seems to be triggered by light-skinned black men. I don't know if one of these brothers broke her heart down the road somewhere. I don't know. But she needs to examine that. Like, I look at when I have a visceral negative reaction to someone, I evaluate what is the cause of it. Many times it's my discernment and my spirit is repelled by their spirit. Doesn't mean that they're not a good person. It just means that that our spirits are not aligned. And in this world, on this plane, in this time, this lifetime, we are not meant to be in unity or in concert. I want everyone to learn how to do that. I want to take a moment and talk to my friend Hot Dog 1492. You can sit here and call Hakeem Jeffries and AIPAC Shield and call every single Democrat in office who's taking money from a PAC that exists for a special interest, whatever you want to call them. But I want to say definitively, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Right now, I'm concerned about saving American fucking democracy and having people elected who are going to do the work of ensuring that our democracy continues. There was a point, Hot Dog 1492, when I wanted to live in an America that was free of racism, that I wanted to live in America that was free of anti-LGBT sentiments and laws and actions, where we didn't have homophobia and transphobia, and we could truly let people be who the fuck they were. That's a time that I used to think these things in America are possible. I no longer live that dream. That motherfucker is dead as fucking dead can be. I don't want any of that shit because I realize that 90% of white Democrats are racist. I realize that 90% of straight Democrats are homophobic and 98% of those motherfuckers are transphobic. I realize that the majority of homosexual Democrats are also transphobic. So I don't motherfucking want any of that shit to be happen because it won't happen. I live in reality. But I do not think that it's too motherfucking much in 2026 to live in an America that is still a goddamn democracy, where you don't have ICE officers coming from the butt shit crack of Oklahoma, picking up a gun and killing a man in the street because they fucking want to. And if taking fucking money from a super PAC is going to allow someone to be able to put up goddamn campaign commercials to help educate the highly uneducated Americans to vote for their best interest in save democracy, I don't give a fuck about that super PAC. Okay, number one. And also, you said that Chink's name is Jink's name. Bitch, I don't give a fuck what that motherfucker's name is. I don't watch the Young Turks. I don't give a shit about Chink. I don't give a shit about goddamn Hassan Piker, and I sure as fuck don't give one about Annika Spearin. And your ass is blocked, bitch.
You mad, huh? But to your point, let me just go ahead. Let me just go ahead and say this because I've been saying this for a while now. Like, okay, and let me just go on record. Fuck AIPAC. I just don't give a fuck about it. But at the same time, that is not my number one priority. And let me explain why that's not my number one priority. Because many people who want to talk about AIPAC and talk about how we need to stand up to AIPAC, we need to do something about AIPAC. AIPAC is a problem. In order to combat AIPAC, you have to be able to replace those funds with your own. Y'all talk about campaign finance reform, but y'all aren't funding any fucking campaigns. And when people are calling out AIPAC, like Cori Bush, like Jamal Bowman, who literally risked their entire candidacy over calling out AIPAC for what the fuck they were. How much money did you give to those black candidates who risked their candidacy, risked their fucking seat to make sure that they could call out and hold AIPAC accountable? You didn't do shit because they didn't have the right complexion for the protection for the collection. You let their asses get kicked the fuck out. Now they asses just like us, a regular schmegular fucking citizen.
You got to apologize.
That was not the plan. But the more I thought about somebody telling me how to say that motherfucker's name, because I don't watch the I don't know who these motherfuckers are.
Who gives a fuck about Jink Uygur? He's fucking damn. He's into some weird shit. He was over here talking about how he wanted to legalize what is it called? When you fuck animals.
He wants to fuck animals. He was fucking a horse. He was beating off a horse or
bestiality. He said he wants to legalize bestiality. His ass is fucking weird. Fuck him.
Exactly. I ain't got time for that shit.
What we do have time for is the next topic, which has been this very interesting Senate race between Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. And I'm baffled.
It's getting messy. That's what the fuck it's getting.
Oh, it's getting very messy.
It's always, but here's the thing. It's always been messy. Tallarico's campaign director has always been messy. What's the lady's name?
Liz Smith.
Well, we don't have an actual. Okay, so it's not verified. So let's be very clear here. But the rumor is, and word on the fucking curb is that he has Liz Smith working for her, and Liz Smith plays a dirty fucking game. She uses bot farms. She goes after people. She spreads misinformation. She works with other content creators to steer a motherfucking narrative to trash your entire campaign. Her job is to shut your shit the fuck down. Like
her name is Liz Smith.
Liz Smith.
Liz Smith. So that's what I've been seeing, people. So Tracy was like very messy. But why? Well, because of Liz Smith. So Liz Smith is like supposedly working for his campaign. She's is she a consultant? Is she like a political operative? Like she gets
supposed to be a consultant. We don't know. Again, this is all word on the curb. We have no verified information. We don't have no paper trail, but this is what word on the curb is, child. This is what the fuck's here.
Well, he's not gonna tell the truth about it. If he ain't
gonna tell the truth, his ass lied on the debate. Talk about he didn't get no money from Mary Mabelson. So I don't want to hear that shit. But we'll talk about that in a second. I got some real shit to say because I've been holding back against this motherfucker for a very long time, and I've been trying to be nice because I'm friends with Olivia. But other than that, Olivia, you're just gonna be mad at me, girl, because I'm just tired of it. I've been trying to hold my breath, and it's funny that now he don't put out this statement from his whole campaign, send it to all his supporters saying that Jasmine Crockett is somehow gonna go negative on his motherfucking ass because she's going to compare records. I didn't know comparing and contrast from records means that I'm going negative. Weren't y'all the same motherfuckers that was complaining about Kamala Harris not doing enough of a comparison between her and Joe Biden? So which one is it? So we're not supposed to compare and contrast with the fuck we are to compare why I'm better than this other candidate with my record and my understanding of the federal government and the office that I'm actually trying to go into? I mean, did y'all even watch the damn debate? He couldn't even come up with a reason why he wanted to impeach Donald Trump. He didn't even know that the Senate does not impeach Donald Trump. What they do is they're actually the ones who prosecute his ass. So, and Jasmine broke it down. She even broke down to how much money and how PACs work, how there is a limit on the federal level of only 5,000. And at the state level, there is no fucking limit. Jasmine was going point by point by point, proving that she's about this motherfucking life. She understands the level of office that she's going into, but yet she's too defined, or too damn black, or too educated, or too damn much for y'all asses to take. Fuck y'all.
Listen, I watched that debate and I was pissed off already because obviously it was Saturday and it was the day when Alex Preddy was killed, murdered on the street. And I was like, you know what? Let me go watch this debate and see what this Tallarico's guy is talking about. Because I had never seen, I mean, I've seen like videos here and there.
Did you go into it with an open mind? Were you open-minded?
Yeah, I was open-minded. I said, let me watch this.
Me too.
Yeah, I came there open-minded because I wanted to see what he was talking about. I knew kind of his background. I understood it, but as I've said the whole week, I don't know who he is. I don't understand what he stands for. So as I'm watching the debate, I'm having the same thoughts as a lot of people that I saw, which was, again, this is my own thoughts. And I saw Kenny's post, and he said the same thing I did. I thought Jasmine did a really good of just showcasing the work that she's done in the Congress. She was saying things that she did that I hadn't, I follow Congress closely, that I didn't even know the damn girl was doing with post offices and all kinds of shit that I was like, oh, okay, thanks for filling me in on things that you're doing. So she has definitely earned her place where she would be an outstanding senator. And she reminds me so much of Kamala in so many ways, in the fact that she knows her stuff. And she the thing is, she talks too much. So the whole time they were trying to, like, she's like, and she kept
fucking her up every time.
She was apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry. Like, she kept going too long because she had.
It was cute. I thought that came across as cute.
I thought it came off as cute too. But she just has so much. She's like a world of knowledge. So she, and she's trying to keep her composure and say things and, just trying to sound like she's, it's hard, right? Because what audience are you really trying to appeal to in a debate? Debates are hard, right? Because you don't know who's watching. So she's trying to, be calm Jasmine, because we know Jasmine can get a little about it. So she's trying to be, calm, and I'm appreciating that. For him, I thought that he answered the questions well. He didn't wow me with anything, because honestly, he don't know much about Congress. So you can't tell me something about Congress that you don't know.
He's not qualified. He's just
the question about when they asked about billionaires or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I've always been against billionaires and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, that was like the most generic ass answer you could give, right? Bro, you didn't tell me anything about you. And again, I don't have any bias towards him because I don't know anything about him. If he was running for Congress and he was running for a congressional seat, I would be like, okay, well, that could work. You came from the state level, you're moving up to the congressional level. But a senator is a different type of ballgame. You know that I've studied the Senate a lot. I know a lot about the Senate, more than most people. And he's not ready to be in the Senate. I'm sorry.
He's just not ready. It's really like a type of, I think it's like bad career advice for anyone to even let him run. Like the people in his life to allow him. You went viral from the government shutdown and the Texas redistricting map, and that put you out there. Obviously, you think that you're ready to go for the United States Senate. Your background has been, and again, I am a former educator, so I have immense respect for educators. I am an educator, but you went from middle school teacher and like youth pastor or pastor to the Texas State Senate. The Texas Senate, a representative. And you think that qualifies you now to jump from that all the way to the Senate? Usually you run for a local office or a statewide office like governor or lieutenant governor or maybe secretary of state, which you're probably more qualified for, or you run for your local congressional seat like Jasmine did. That allows you to get a level of training and expertise and connection building. You felt as though you had the right, the privilege, and the audacity to skip all those steps. So you probably thought you could do that because you had the financial funding and backing and support of someone like a Marion Adelson, who you lied on the camera in this debate and said you never took money from. That to me was the automatic no-go, non-starter. He lied.
Yeah. I think when I was watching him, one thing I realized is that when you work on the state level, right, you know a lot about like what's happening like in your local area. You know a lot about what's happening in your locale. But even running on a statewide level, it's really hard. When Jasmine's like, I brought money back to my district, I did this and I did that. The thing about her, she's on a national level, right? She's there. She is the front and center on a lot of these investigations that were going on in the oversight committee. Like she has earned a reputation, some good, some bad for some people. And I understand why certain people, say, okay, well, she's a little bit too much and all this. I get it. Whatever. That's their opinion on Jasmine. I like it. I think that she has shown herself to be a person that is brave and bold and not afraid. I've seen her in person. I've seen her talk about her running in her election and going into the hood and trying to convince people to vote for her, knocking on doors in buildings and getting homeless people to vote for her. Like, the girl is relentless, right? And I appreciate that. Listen, we've talked about this many times. Texas is a really hard state to win. It's one of the hardest states to win for a Democrat, right? But whoever is going against either John Cornyn or that cockeyed bitch, they are going to have to be able to debate and be able to have receipts to show what they have done and why they need to be elected. And James just doesn't have that. I'm sorry, he just doesn't.
He doesn't have it.
Can we talk about it real quick? Just one more thing. As we're talking about James Tallarico, everybody has been bringing up this electability issue when it comes to Jasmine Crockett, but there is not one poll that shows that James Tallarico could beat any candidate. Any. Jasmine has data that shows that she can at least beat Ken Paxton. So when you're talking about electability, are you talking about from a standard of polling? Where are you getting this data? Where are you getting this from, other than the fact that you just don't believe that people won't vote for her because she's Black, even though Texas has the largest Black population in the United States, even though Texas is majority POC. Like, the problem isn't that Texas won't turn, the problem isn't that Texas can't turn blue. The problem is that we're not using unconventional measures to go after people who have constantly felt like they've been forgotten. People who haven't showed up to the polls because we haven't showed up for them. Jasmine is that person who can pull people. She's doing unconventional measures, meeting people where they are, whether it be at the bar, at the gay club, at the church, meeting people at homeless shelters. Jasmine has done all of those things, and even doing all the things she's doing that she's, obligated to do on the federal level, which is being in DC. She's not only just showed up for Texas, she showed up for California with Prop 50. She's over here on the damn stage with Gavin Newsom crazy ass. And then on that, she went to Minneapolis. And just today, she was just seen with Liam, the little boy that they used as bait, and who was detained. Jasmine is constantly putting out the word. She's been to Amarillo. She showed up to the Tyson plant and stood with workers who lost their jobs because of Trump's tariffs. She's showing up for Texas. She's showing up for this country. Jasmine Crockett is worthy. And I'm just tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the false equivalencies. I'm tired of them constantly moving the goalposts and changing the fucking rules for James Tallarico, saying, oh, well, Israel this and Israel motherfucking that. And even Jasmine had to bring up fucking receipts on the debate stage saying, hey, I signed on to Representative Jaya Paul's letter to Joe Biden saying that Israel is breaking international law. We pulled the fucking receipts, and I even posted it. She signed up on the shit. So I don't want to hear these false equivalencies saying she's popping pussy for AIPAC when her record shows that she's always standing for marginalized communities. So shut the fuck up.
Period. I think you're right, and I just think it's unfair the way that they have. The problem to me is just like watching it from like outside, because like I said, you're more into Jasmine's campaign than I am, so I watch it from the outside. And the thing that bothers me the most is that these people keep talking about her identity, and like she can't win because Texas is not gonna vote for a Black woman, blah blah blah. What the fuck makes y'all think that they gonna vote for the white Christian male when they haven't voted for a white Christian male Democrat all this time? Beto didn't get elected. The last one didn't get elected. All these people. I mean, what is it about this boy, man, that y'all see that can win that maybe I don't understand, other than you think because he's white and he's Christian that he can appeal to a certain demographic of people? I'm sorry, but I don't know that's gonna move Latinos in Texas anymore. Yeah, they might be a little less apprehensive because they are anti-Black as fuck. So maybe that's where they're getting it from. It's like a lot of fear. It's like, oh, we can't elect her because maybe the Latinos won't vote for her, or maybe the white people won't vote for her. How about we just let the fucking voters decide what they want in the primary, which is in a couple of weeks, and they will tell us what they think and what they want, instead of every stupid ass person on the internet that's on Twitter and Threads and all these fucking accounts telling us what Texas wants. I'm sorry, if I was in Texas, I would be annoyed as shit, because I'd be like, y'all telling me that this lady can't win, and I see the Black folks in Texas saying like, no, I think she can win. I see the people that are working with Tallarico saying, okay, he can win. But I want to know what the voters think. I haven't seen anyone outside of polling say that Tallarico can win.
Yeah, it hasn't been a lot of polls that are updated, and it has been very few polls that I can say that I'm able to trust and put validity in. So we really kind of don't know where this is going, but we'll know real soon because I think early voting starts in February. So they get to start. We're going to start seeing soon what the trends are in the race and where it's going. We're gonna see.
Yeah, well, the voters will tell us on election day. And I always say, I know he spent a ton of money on ads, but I'm in a state where this man spent $60 million on ads to be my senator.
Got his ass
whooped his ass. You know what I mean? So commercials don't really move people. I don't know what moves voters nowadays, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm a person that follows elections, and I really don't know what moves or motivates people to vote, because people, especially Latinos, they are very fickle, and I don't know what's going to motivate them. Is Jasmine going to the border? Is Jasmine going to see Liam? Does that motivate people? Does her talking about immigration, does her talking about the economy? I mean, there's not really anything that either candidate can sell, because like you said, there's not much that can really happen in the Senate. I mean, you're selling a bag of shit if you're like, I'm gonna do all these different things, because there ain't much you could do. So the goal is really like, okay, well, we just need to kick a Republican out, and there is enough people to do it. It's just, do you have enough motivation to do it? And we're gonna see. I don't know what's gonna happen. There are other Senate races that are going to be coming up, primaries. I think Minnesota's is in a couple of weeks. We also have Illinois.
It's March 3rd is when the primary is.
Yeah, I pulled it up. So, baby, they got to vote. Let me tell you something. You're in Texas and you want people to vote in Texas and they're not ready to vote. Their last day is Monday, motherfucker. This Monday. You got 3 days, okay? The last day to register is Monday, February the 2nd. The first day of early voting is Tuesday, February 17th. Happy Mardi Gras, motherfucker. That's when it's going to be. Then you have to, and the last day of early voting is February 27th. And the motherfucking big day is going to be, as Kenny said, March the 3rd. That's it.
It's the wrap. It's the wrap.
So this is about to all be over soon. Soon and very soon.
I can't wait. Tired of hearing about this shit, because then what do the Tallarico people do then? Are they going to say that she's a terrible candidate, she can't win? Are they going to coalesce around her? Because I do believe she's going to win the primary. I just don't know what these people are going to do after.
Well, what they're going to have to do afterwards is they're going to have to kiss some ass. The same people that was talking shit is going to have to kiss her ass and bend the damn knee and look for that viral moment. We're probably going to see Keith right here, Keith Edwards, with the video.
One of Jasmine's most vocal critics and one of James Tallarico's biggest supporters is it's Keith Edwards. Keith is actually one of the largest YouTubers on the platform now. He has grown his platform, one of the largest platforms. Some weeks he eclipses Brian Tyler Cohen in views. So, but he is on Jasmine's ass every day. Every day, and he don't give a fuck what y'all say.
Talk about failing up, Lord of mercy. You don't even know shit about politics. This is the shit that annoys me, because that motherfucker doesn't know jack shit about politics. All he does is run his goddamn mouth, right? And that's what the whole content creator space drives me crazy, because there's so many people that don't know shit about shit that have large platforms. And this guy right here, he got, I mean, after when he was on what's the podcast with Van Lathan, he looked like a goddamn fool. Like, he need to go away. I can't stand him.
Kenny can't stand him either.
I can't stand Keith. Look, child, don't ever make me meet Keith, okay?
You met Keith. We met Keith together. And it's crazy how y'all don't remember. I
don't remember him because he's not rememberable. He didn't add anything to the conversation. He added nothing of substance or value. So why the fuck? I thought he was furniture.
I got angry at what he said. I was with the damn president of these United States in the damn office at the Eisenhower building, and I was doing a great job of not having a moment like I had earlier in the podcast. And he said something that was extremely offensive to President Biden, and I snapped and said something nasty that insulted his lack of education. So, And it hurt his feelings. And so I you were right there, right beside me, and you didn't give a fuck. You didn't even
Now I
notice
sure
it.
didn't. How could you didn't tell a damn lie? Okay.
You didn't probably. It's crazy how people who know me when I do those type of things completely don't even notice I do it. Like I go off and scream and they don't even notice it.
No, I noticed, and I'd be kikiing. I'd be having a good time. Okay, I'd be in my I'd be in my feelings, but in a good way.
He was in the room with us. He was right there. He was literally sitting like right there, right by me. He's from Michigan. He talked about, poor people in Michigan are not working. This is your fault, Joe. And that's when I went off. But
And before we get into this clip, what the fuck is Gavin doing?
I'm not showing the
trying
clip.
to
You not promoting that clip. I just put him up there to see what you was gonna say.
Well, let me ask this question. What the fuck is Gavin Newsom doing? Like, I feel like
Have
I
you
don't
not
know
seen
what
my podcast? Did you see
I'm not watching that shit, but I'm trying to figure out like why
my podcast, not Gavin? I'm saying the episode I did last week where I really had a focus on Gavin. And I'm gonna tell you what he's doing. Gavin Newsom has made a choice to go after what he considers to be winnable, moderate, middle road voters. And he's also courting white supremacists. Let's not pretend that that's not what he's doing. Gavin Newsom is courting the white supremacist, white nationalist voter. When you give a platform to Charlie Kirk, may he rest. When you give and invite Steve Bannon on your podcast, when you then invite Ben Shapiro on your podcast, you are telling the people the voter you're trying to get. What Gavin Newsom has not done is invite Black people on his podcast. And what Gavin Newsom is not doing is saying, I give one shit fuck about you Black voters, because he doesn't. There are Black content creators who have reached out to, not me, motherfuckers, not me. But there are Black content creators that have reached out to Gavin, trying to interview Gavin, trying to be up Gavin's ass because they like his social media game, and they've gotten crickets. Because he doesn't care about Black voters. He doesn't want, and he's like either taking them for granted or whatever, but he's not courting them. He is courting the white nationalists. That is what he's doing. So that's why he's doing it. Make no mistake about it. He is signaling to the people he wants in the way that they receive it. And the question becomes, what are you Blacks going to do about it?
Well, what he's betting is we're not going to do shit about it. And I think what he's betting is the same kind of sentiment that I'm seeing from very few people as it pertains to Jasmine's race. That some Black people think they see the writing on the wall and they don't want to take a bet. They want to bet on the whitest, safest damn bet, but they're refusing to bet on themselves because they believe that they're still hurting and still feel the sense of pain from the loss of Kamala Harris. And that's just the unfortunate fact. He thinks that Black people, and a lot, not even just him, the Democratic Party as a whole, they think that Black people have so much to lose and so much things that's on the line that our vote is just guaranteed. We don't have to work for it. So Black people are going to show up regardless of who we put on the ballot. So all we got to do is win this primary, and we don't have to meet the needs of the Black community, because this is about class consciousness, not about racism, misogyny, any of those things. Because none of those things matter. Because if we fix the class issues in America, then, we don't have to worry about all these issues. Even if we do deal with, making healthcare more affordable, we don't care that the Black people are going to be more likely to die on the operating table. Who gives a shit? As long as I get my affordable health insurance. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening. They're literally throwing us out the fucking party. They're trying to take this shit back from us. They don't want the base to be Black no more. They want it to be white. And I guess that's all right.
Well, they want us to be white and they want us to be male, but they don't even know how to take over a party because all they do is sound stupid, and they offend so many people with the stupid shit that they do. So let me just say this about Gavin Newsom. You're right, Zach. He wants to look like he's reasonable. He's kind of doing a John Fetterman, both sides bullshit, right? I can talk to the people on that side. I can have conversations with them, and I'm willing to listen to what they're saying. That shit is great for maybe a general election, but you got to win a Democratic primary, okay? And I promise you, he will not be the nominee. You know why I know he's not going to be the nominee? Because he has to go through the South, and he has not done a damn thing to win in the South. And the person that is going to win in 2028 is not somebody that we have on our radar right now. It is probably not even going to be Kamala Harris if she, because I'm pretty sure she's like probably sick of these motherfuckers already. It may not even run. If she runs, it's a whole different story. But if it just comes down to the whites and some white women and maybe some Latinos and in the mix of there, maybe some black people that decide to run, the person that we are thinking that is trying to show their asses every day, all day, Josh Shapiro, trying to position themselves in these ways, they're not going to be the nominee, because what we're seeing, these people are going to run into a wall. The wall that they're going to run into is black voters, and I'm just sitting.
We are going to vote in these primaries in mass numbers. We always do.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting back and just observing the bullshit. Gavin, you want to lie on Kamala? Okay, well, I'm gonna call you out. Josh Shapiro, you want to lie on Kamala? You're gonna get called out too. So I think for us is just sit back and watch. I don't even get, like you said, 90% of these Democrats are racist. So I don't even take offense to the shit no more, because I already know how they operate. At the end of the day, we see what y'all are trying to do. But I do see a lot of what Kenny is saying in a lot of these like content creator kind of people who are trying to position themselves also to be the force in this next coming. It's kind of like, like when Elizabeth Warren was running and you had all the blacks for Elizabeth Warren, the 100, black women for Elizabeth. Like I was thinking, me and Gwen were talking about the other day, and I'm like, those people were so ridiculous, right? And what ended up happening, right? They all looked a goddamn fool afterwards. So people just need to sit back and watch. Let's get through all of this craziness that we got going on. It's just beginning this year. And we'll just dissect them week by week on what these fools are doing. Because I actually find it funny. I actually find it comical the way that they are what I call shooting themselves in the dick.
They really are, because they think they're smearing Kamala Harris when she's actually gaining nothing but black support, which is hilarious. And guess where she's at? If this book tour all throughout the fucking South.
Oh, she's in
Kamala's face all throughout the fucking South. So when you're sitting here running your fucking mouth and black people see this real shit,
campaign trail,
and whatever y'all want to call it, I'm just gonna be quiet.
I don't see it as any other way. I think Kamala Harris is on the actual campaign trail, and she is building up true fandom and support for her by reiterating the issues that are impacting America. She's not just talking about 107 days on this tour. She's talking about America in this moment, and she's meeting the moments, and she's meeting people where they are, while Gavin Newsom is platforming white supremacists.
Whatever she's doing, she's locking in the black support. So whoever she supports in 2028, it's going to be a hell of a damn endorsement.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even if she doesn't run, her endorsement is going to make a difference, because what if Kamala says, I don't fuck with those two, but I like what's the guy's name from Arizona that she had Mark Kelly. She turns around and say, you know what? That motherfucker ain't been talking shit about me, being petty Kamala. He hasn't been talking shit about me. I know his wife. He's a good man. He has the receipts. And you know what? I'm going to back him. You know what black voters are going to do? They're going to be like, oh shit, that's who Kamala's backing? Well, let's take a look. They may not immediately say it, but they may take a look at it, because there's a trust factor there, right? She has built trust with not, I wouldn't even say it's just black voters. It's also white women. She has a white woman fandom. She has a Latina. You ever seen them people that go to her and be crying and shit? Like,
absolutely. That's Mamala.
Yeah, so there are people, even young people that liked her campaign. I mean, people will be looking to see who she is going, if she doesn't run, who she will be backing. And I think her endorsement will matter more than anyone else's in 2028, depending on what she decides to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. She may be the kingmaker, or she could just potentially wear the fucking crown. We'll see. Whatever happens. Y'all already know that thing.
I just had time with Mark Kelly. We did an 8-minute interview, so it'll be posting, I guess, at some point. But yeah, I have thoughts on Mark Kelly, but I'm not sharing them now. So with that being said, it's a good time to wrap up and tell you that we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.